Okay, hi. I got all of my information from a website called www.justia.com and a website called The Guardian, an article by Ed Pillington. The article is called Felony Murder, Why a Teenager Who Didn't Kill Anyone Faces 55 Years in Jail. Okay. Definition of the felony murder rule. I'm going to read it. Is a rule that allows a defendant to be charged with first-degree murder for a killing that occurs as a felony offense, and even though the defendant didn't actually kill anyone. And normally a defendant can be convicted of murder only if a prosecutor shows that defendant acted with intent to kill, and that's like the main key phrases: intent to kill, with a reckless indifference to human life. The felony murder rule, however, is the exception, as a defendant can be convicted of murder even if the defendant did not act with intent to kill or recklessness of human life. Now, the article, Felony Murder, Why a Teenager Who Didn't Kill Anyone Faces 55 Years in Jail by Ed Pillington, states Blake Lehman, a 16-year-old who planned a burglary with his friends one day. This kid did not have a criminal background. He had a very clean record, never owned a gun, never held a gun, anything. Him and his friends decided to break into this guy's house and steal his stuff, commit a burglary, but they didn't know the guy was still home. They thought he wasn't there. But the guy came out and shooting because invasion of his house, he didn't know they were teenagers and didn't know they didn't have a gun on them. Blake Lehman, 16-year-old, was shot along with one of his friends, and his friend didn't live. His friend died from his gunshot wounds. He lived through his gunshot wounds, obviously. But he was charged with felony under the felony murder rule, even though he never held a gun, never shot anyone, just planned a burglary, but the burglary resulted in his friend dying, and he got charged for it. I personally don't agree with the felony murder rule because I don't think it's necessarily fair. He should be convicted and charged or something, but I don't think he should be convicted of murder, especially if he didn't have the intent to kill. That's my main key phrases: intent to kill or recklessness of human life. Those qualifications didn't happen, so being convicted of first-degree murder, I don't think is necessarily fair. He can be convicted, but on a lesser charge, because 16-year-old, his whole life is taken away by a mistake. But teenagers are stupid, make mistakes. So I believe that the felony murder rule shouldn't necessarily still be of law, because it seems excessive for someone who made a mistake, for someone who didn't commit a murder. And that's my take on it.